Women's History Month is a reminder of long-lived hope, of why we are where we are today. Women continue to be a powerful force for movements and for equality. For women, nothing is but a grasp away.
The young woman who continues to influence and inspire me is my goddaughter, Tamaya Green. Although she's only 16 years old, Tamaya is the epitome of strength, resilience, perseverance. She was born with one of the worst cases of sickle cell anemia, so many hospitalizations, blood transfusions, so much pain. But it never took away from her giving nature, her kindness, her silliness, being humble. She is one of the sweetest people you will ever meet, and every day I am in awe of everything she is. So Tamaya, thank you. This is dedicated to you, boo.
So a woman who's been a significant influence for me is my daughter Kerry, who is all grown up and raising a child and holding down a significant job and able to do 4 things at once, when I find that now that I can barely get one thing done in the same amount of time. And if I feel a little bit that I need some encouragement, then I think of all the things she's getting done, and it's a great incentive to keep things moving forward.
I have so many women in my life that have been great influences, from my mother to my grandmother, but one person in particular who I want to highlight is my older sister, Ramona Brown. She is amazing, everything from what she can do to how she does it. And I think that's most important. She's taught me how to acclimate myself in the kitchen and cook. We laugh together, we cry together, but most of all, she has a heart like no other. She cares about everyone and wants to make sure everybody's okay, whether she has known you for 10 years, 20 years, to if she just met you on the street. She has a heart of gold, in my opinion, and I'm blessed to have her in my life and wouldn't have it any other way.
Hi, I'm Harriet Johnson, and I'd like to share with you one of the most influential person in my life. That person was my mother. My father died when I was 2 years old, leaving my mother to raise 4 children. Over the years, I observed Mom, how she dealt with challenging situations. She was strong, she was focused, and she was a praying woman. She relied on close friends, relatives, and our village for her support. Years later, when I faced various situations, I used the formula that Mom had taught me in order to get through these situations. I thank God for this strong, God-fearing woman, my best friend and my strongest advocate, Savannah Lash.
My name is Fran Joy. I'm an artist, curator, and life coach here in Evanston. This was a hard question for me because I thought of so many women who have really had a lot of influence in my life as an artist. My mom, my sister, my daughters, Malika and Maya, my friends, really close friends who show up at the exhibits, show up at everything and assist in how they can and purchase art. And a special public shout out to former Mayor Elizabeth Tisdall, because she steered me in the direction of the Evanston Art Council 10 years ago, and that opened up so many other collaborations and opportunities with Lisa D., Paula Danoff, Angela Van Angela Allen, Chantel Healy, Indira Johnson, Rose Cannon, and Cherie Lockett, and many, many more. And I just want to say I celebrate women in the arts for the month of March and every day, because I celebrate spirituality, the resilience, and the strength of women. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kiana McNary Licorice, and I'm here to share with you about a very influential woman in my life, my maternal grandmother. Affectionately known as Grandma Sweet, She wasn't ever afraid of what other people thought of her, which was one of her most admirable traits. She simply did what she believed was best for her and truly lived her life to the fullest. She disciplined me when necessary, loved me unconditionally, and taught me how to function in a society that was set up to make people of color fail. I cannot thank her enough. She taught me all the basic principles and elements necessary for a successful life. This woman influenced my life immensely and steered me in the right direction. She never gave up on me, and no matter what, encouraged me to keep going and never let anything stand in my way. It is because of her I have had the opportunity to share my musical gifts with the world.
Hi, I would just like to highlight Tig Notaro as someone who has had a large influence on my life. She's a stand-up comic and an actor, and I remember watching her set. It was called Live, her album Live, and it was, I think, in 2014. I don't know if she planned on talking about this or whether the material was already pre-planned or not. It didn't seem to be that way, and she came out and started talking about her personal life. And she was talking about all sorts of terrible things that were going on. She was in the process of grieving. Her mother passed suddenly while she was moving, and then she was diagnosed with cancer. She went on to have a double mastectomy. But I just remember the way in which she talked about it was so unbelievably powerful and just so real and honest, and it really just blew me away.
Hey folks, Sean Blake here. Thank you so much, Tim, for asking me to do this. The woman I think that has inspired me probably the most is my mom, and I know that sounds cliche, but it's the truth. She has always supported me in anything and everything that I've ever wanted to try and do in my life. She, to this day, remains my biggest fan and also my biggest critic, because she will tell me exactly what I need to hear, not what I want to hear. She is also one of the top educators in the state of Illinois in the 90s and 2000s, starting her own small school, I believe winning a Golden Apple Award as well. And she's a woman of great substance and a great heart, and compassion, love, intelligence, humor, all of the above. So this is to my mom, Jacqueline Sanders. Thanks, Mom. Thanks again, Tim. Happy Women's History Day.
A range of colors, range of talents, range of stability, range of balance. These things create creators.
My daughter has been a joy her entire life. For many years, it was just the two of us. We enjoyed many activities together, including travel, craft classes, theater, especially a local dinner theater, trips to the National Mall and its museums, Girl Scout activities, and eating out. She is thoughtful, kind, caring, helpful, and smart. All anyone could ever want in a daughter. Happily, my daughter, son-in-law, and 3 grandchildren live in the house right behind mine, so I get to see them often. Thank you, Kathy.
Hi, my name is Dr. Stella Salsa Hickman. I'm here to share with you a little story about the most inspiring woman in my life. I am happy to say that my mother has been very influential and has been the most inspiring woman in my life. Her name, Koforala Salisu. I am from a Nigerian descent, though I was born in Brooklyn. My mother has always taught me that perseverance is the way of life. Being nice is the way of life. You see, my mom, a mother of 3 beautiful leaders, actually, in various industries, a wife to the most handsome man, my father, and a former hard-working flight attendant, always gave. She always gave herself. She gave financially. She gave spiritually. And yet, she made sure that her children had whatever it is that they needed to get to where they are. I am where I am today because of all the sacrifices my mom made for me. And Mom, if you're listening to this, I want you to know that I love you and I appreciate everything that you've poured into each and every one of us. Thank you.
One of the most important women in my life was my high school poetry teacher, Tasha Fouts. She taught me so much about the craft and history of poetry, but also how to push my boundaries beyond what I was comfortable writing and reading at the time. She wasn't afraid to be strict. Like, if she said she would fail us for missing a deadline, she meant that. But she did it to really show us how challenging it could be to try and get your work published. Like, one of the things she did one semester was to make us write our poems by hand over and over again to show us the value of editing and just being really careful in revising our drafts and to appreciate the technology we had to make that happen at the time. Even though I write very different material now than I did back then, she's still very much a voice in my head, encouraging me to do better and keep pushing forward with my work.
So the most influential person in my life, woman rather in my life, is my sister Nikisha Illich. I have a lot of women that are influential, but she came to my mind instantly because she's my sister. But not just that, I'm her #1 supporter, she's my #1 supporter, and that stuck with me. Ever since I was young, she's always been supporting me in my career and just anything that I wanted to do. Any issues I may have come across or any victories I may have celebrated, she was always there. And I love my sister so much. Now that we have grown and she has a family now, she still makes time for me. And we don't live in the same states no more, but she still makes time to hit me up more than I do with her. And like, I just feel like she exemplifies what a woman is all about: strength, beauty, grace, excellency. She's the true definition of Black girl magic.
Janice Turner, former director of Evanston School District Head Start program in 1968, hired me as a teacher aide, which provided an opportunity to work, observe, and assist in a preschool classroom. As teacher assistants, much educational verbal directions and support was given to us by enrolling us in on and off-site training classes and even college courses while working in the program. Because of these experiences, I became inspired, motivated, and determined to return to college to pursue a degree in education. Through Janice Turner's continuous encouragement, I reached my goal. I graduated from college, became an elementary school teacher, and taught for over 30 years. Throughout the years, Janice continued to impact my life in many other ways. She is my shero and everlasting friend.
Hello, my name is Jerry Sizemore, and I would like to talk about the strong Black woman who impacted my life. She was the first Black woman that I met. It was my mother, Mrs. Ethel Presley Harkness. She gave me life. She and my dad gave me their DNA. I am who I am today because of them. One of the first things she taught us, me and my 8 siblings, was we had to have a very strong, robust spiritual life. We spent a lot of time in church, and that is too long to even talk about. I remember she mentioned always stay strong and connected to the family. Do not ever be mean to your family members, to your siblings, because there will be enough people in this world that will do that. Also, she taught us to always be connected to the community. Stay connected to the community. Do all you can for whomever you can, as long as you can, because from the cradle to the grave, you do not know who will have to give you a drink of water or wipe your brow. She was an amazing woman, and all that I am today, I owe to my mother, Mrs. Ethel Presley Harkness.
Hi, my name is Victoria, and I would like to take a second to reflect on one of the strong women in my life, my best friend's mom, Michelle. She gave me a really good piece of advice recently on setting my own boundaries and learning how to respect myself, and so that I wouldn't feel as easily taken advantage of by others. And she uses it in her own workplace. Essentially, she'll lay out the expectations of a job, and if you can't do it, then that's okay. You're done. But I think that's really valuable because you can use that in any aspect of your life, really. You can just lay out your expectations of a situation, of your friends, your peers, your coworkers, and if they can't meet them, that's okay. You just have to know that you've set your expectations, your boundaries, and that's that.
When I was in 6th grade at Ruggles Elementary School, my teacher showed us the dolls, the masks, and the menus of the countries she had visited during the summer vacation. Well, my mind started up a vision of me and my suitcase boarding a plane for going to different places. So thanks to Miss Graham, my article, Go Girls, Black Women Traveling, is true. My travels helped me get the right stuff, dolls, masks, and people's stories. So, merci beaucoup, gracias, asante sana, sasiba, and ashiashe. Even my adopted family in Brazil says, obrigada, too. Thank you, Miss Graham, for inspiring me to travel widely to learn more about life.
I just want to tell you about my mother, Georgia May. She was an amazing woman. And she's gone now, but I still love her. I still think about her every day. She was so encouraging and so uplifting, and red was one of her favorite colors, so I'm wearing that in honor of her. But I remember one particular time when I was thinking about dropping out of school, and she told me, Omega, she said, you know, if you do this, you probably will not go back. And I listened, and I'm thankful to God this day that I listened, because she gave good advice. And as I said, I think about her all the time, and she was just the light of my life. Thank you.
An influential woman in my life would have to be my grandmother, Roberta. She is the coolest, and she just has so much energy and such a love for life that has really inspired me to just kind of live every day to the fullest and greet every adventure with open arms. So my grandma's the best.
Who's the most influential woman in my life? Well, I suppose I should say my mother or my aunt, her sister. But I think, truthfully, as I look back over the bulk of my life, it'd have to be my wife, Candace Core. I'm an actor, and I fully expected to spend my life living out of a suitcase, traveling all over the country, New York, LA, wherever. But Candy talked me into moving to Chicago when we first started dating. And then we had children. And I'm not a natural parent, but Candy is a gifted mother and grandmother. And we have 4 grandchildren and 3 children, and they are remarkable human beings, and they are in our life. Some of them not living more than 12 minutes away. So we are blessed, and it's really all because of her.
My sister Terry Murray has more courage and strength than any woman I know. She has and continues to battle many health issues. In spite of her pain and suffering, she finds comfort in her life. I admire her and look to her for encouragement.
Hello, my name is Jelani Pitcher, and the most influential woman in my life would absolutely have to be my mother. She is essentially the reason that I am still pursuing theater, the reason that I started to do theater all the way back in 1st grade. She allowed me to take classes, and she drove me to all my auditions, and just the level of support that she has shown consistently throughout my life has just made such an impact on me as a human, the way I present myself, the way I show love, show support, and I love her very much.
I'm lucky enough to celebrate a pair of twins in my life. Amber Green and Ebony Broussard, who I met in college, have been crucial in my development as an adult. And one of the most admirable things about these two women is that I feel like I've learned more from them about how to be a friend to women than any other relationship in my life, just bearing witness to what they offer. They're extremely supportive and encouraging, and we celebrate the wins and the fails. We celebrate the fails like they are wins because we know we're learning something, and I get that from them. And I wouldn't be who I am without Amber and Ebony. I'm so grateful, and I am thrilled to lift them up today.
Hi, I'm Penelope Sachs, and the woman I would like to acknowledge as influential in my early life was a teacher from school. She was called Mrs. Morgan, and she taught me Latin for 8 years during school. She was a lovely teacher, and I remember she used to give us prizes of small soaps in the shape of animals from a popular English TV program when we did well at school. Not only did she teach me a lot of Latin and to do really well in public exams, but she taught me to love language, to think logically, to get myself organized before tests. And by the time of my last 2 years with her, there were only 3 in our class. So she taught me that I could go my own way and choose what I wanted to study, and I did not have to be influenced by the crowds. I am still very grateful to her.
Hi, my name is Deborah Turner. I'm holding a picture of my mother, Alice E. Turner. Alice is 102 years old right now. She is a retired teacher. But I'd like to mention the lady that inspired my mother to become a teacher. Her name was Nell Roberts. Outside of Memphis, Tennessee, in a town called Germantown, Tennessee, my mother met Nell Roberts, who began to mentor her and inspire her and literally helped her go to college. It wasn't a scholarship time back then, so she literally helped my mom go through college and become a teacher, who in turn has helped myself and my sister, Mana Turner. So we have inspired and been inspired down through the years by strong, intelligent Black women.
I first met Kara Roseborough 12 years ago when we first auditioned for the Chicago Academy for the Arts, which is the performing arts high school we attended together for 4 years. And when we graduated in 2014, Kara was our valedictorian, and she gave one of the most incredible speeches. It's something that I can remember still today. I mean, the amount of inspiration she gave each one of our classmates through her voice is incredible. She really focused on how hard work and dedication can lead you to achieving your goals and dreams. And when I'm having a really difficult time or a difficult day or anything that's really troubling me, I think back to the moments that I've shared with Kara and how she never gave up on herself and she never gave up on me, which I think is a huge, huge thing to remember, and it helps me get through my difficult days. And Kara is someone that continually inspires me. She's not only a brilliant human being, but she's a beautiful artist, dancer, creator, you name it. So I just want to give Kara a huge shout out to all that you have done for me and those around you. Continue to inspire everyone. I mean, your work is infectious, your spirit is infectious. I'm so happy that we have continued to grow together, and you've shown me so much about myself that I didn't know was there. So thank you. You are an incredible human being, and you are an incredible woman. Keep on going, and I'm so proud of you.
Throughout the entire pandemic, my aunt was tasked with preparing 80 to 100 meals per week for the homeless and needy of the Evanston and Chicagoland area. She made sure that these meals were nutritious, but also delicious for those less fortunate. And seeing her be so selfless in her work while also being so caring was so inspiring to me.
She currently works at the YW, and she helps teach the women and children there at the shelter how to cook and be successful in the kitchen. I am so proud of my aunt and all that she has done to help our community, and I think that highlighting her this month would be such an honor for me and her as well, because oftentimes the work that she does can go unnoticed or unthanked, and I would just like to say a big thank you from me and the rest of the Evanston community to my Aunt Paige.
I often focus on what women are in my life that have been important to me. We will never read about in the history books, and I'm sure that's true for many of you. Your own mothers. I think of my mother, who in my mind was historical. She brought 18 children into the world. 2 did not survive birth. In terms of what she meant to us as family, as children or children, I can't imagine what it would have been to have been raised without her. Her steadfast, calm presence was an anchor and a center for the family.
Some are creators of understanding, of knowledge, of peace, of pioneering, of love, of life, of the little tiny light at the end of the tunnel. Women are hope. Women are freedom.